Yo, GM. What's good, everybody? GM. Let me turn this music down. There we go. A little bit more appropriate levels so we can hear my voice. How's everybody doing on this fine Monday evening? Just checking a few things out. Sending out a few posts, checking a few things out. What's good, everyone? Another new graphic. Created a lot of these. Had some fun doing them. Put a little bit more of a visual behind the mic. Well, let me be clear though. This is the digital representation of my projected self. Does it look like me? Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. Still a layer of anonymity online, especially in crypto. But this is my vibe. It's your boy Rapture. What's good, everybody? What an interesting daily close. I'll be the first to tell y'all that I was a bit off with my outlook from last week. Zero Koku says, GM brother, what's good, my dude? GM. Always appreciate you being here and showing up. And what are we at today? The daily close show. Apologies that I did not get to the weekly close yesterday evening. I was a bit busy yesterday and I just wasn't in the zone to get it done. But we're here today. Let's get this underway. Not a crazy turnout, but you know what? It is what it is. Rap's got to start pumping up his output, putting out all kinds of good stuff coming up very soon. Moonar Vibe says, GM. What's good, my dude? Appreciate you being here. What do you 0x Drew 1 GM, a new face. GM Drew 1. Appreciate you being here. Moonar, what do you think about the new direction of the visuals? I got a whole. What I'm noticing is on this one, the hand looks a little bit AI. But it is what it is. I got a whole stable of visual assets that I created. I had some fun with it. And all that is going to be coming out tied to my content over the coming days, weeks, months, year. Really pushing to have a larger output. Okay, well, enough of that. Let's get to it. Chaz157 says, GM brother. GM Chaz, appreciate you being here. I think I like it way more than before. Yeah, you know what? The other one was funny. Like the other graphic that I used was funny. But I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but like across all my socials, I've been updating my branding. Got new profile pictures everywhere and new banners. Like if you go on the YouTube page with a more emphasis on where I'm at in life. I feel like the other ones were a little bit more comical and not too serious. Yeah, exactly. Corporate samurai. Exactly, my dude. Exactly. That's the vibe. That is the vibe. Some days he's a little bit more samurai. Other days he's a little bit more suited up. It's fun though. Like doing all this stuff was kind of fun. Like I've redone logos, made all these thumbnail templates. I've created over a few weeks. I made over 1,000 different images so I can use across different projects and different things that I'm going to be putting out. that was part of like all of the, I kept talking about on building stuff. That's one component of it, but I wanted to just get a whole stable of assets put together so that I can just start putting out content and not worry about constantly creating the imagery. I wanted to build the vibe and the tone for the direction that I'm heading in. So I've got this this Rapture avatar who's going to be, you're going to see a lot more of this guy. You're going to see a lot more of this guy. Anyways, let's move this along. Where are we at? We're at 10 minutes deep. Let's fucking get to it. What do I need to do here? I need to do this, and I need to do that. Hey, there we go. Little like, subscribe, and comment. Shit, I gotta pull that down. But also, if you don't mind, like, subscribe, and comment, and help support the growth of this show and the direction that we're going to be heading. Get that out of there, though. Get out of here. There we go. What do we got here? The BTC weekly chart. Pull up on my screen. Get rid of this. So we're above the inside week high, and we're kind of getting up into this range up in here. You can see we're kind of just tagged this level here. So that's kind of interesting. I might have to mark that level out, but we'll get into it. I mean, I'm not saying that we're completely out of the woods yet for this inside week play, but the setup that I had outlined from last week was invalidated. It happens, it happens. I'm just more inclined to want to look for shorts around here than I am for longs, even though this chart does not look bad at all. Like, we still are right into that mid area of the weekly range, right at the mid area. Also, the inside week high, we're just above it. So there's a chance we get tucked back underneath, but we'll dive all into that. I think we have some new levels to be marking out on BTC. I think ETH and SOL are kind of still stuck where they've been. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, ETH is pinned down. Although this is looking like if it's going to release, it could just spring. SOL is just looking apathetic. And then SPX is just wild things, wild thoughts. Let's pull this up really quickly. We'll get through the formalities. Welcome everybody to another Rapture's Scalp and Swing Sessions number 27, the Daily Close Show. Where we take a look at our high time frame levels, discuss strategy off of those levels, our strategy for the days ahead, and what some low time frame setups might look like. We'll take a look at BTC, ETH, and SOL. Excuse me. We might even pull open the weekly macro dashboard, and we might take a look at some high time frame SFPs, although I don't know what the alt market's been doing. Every time, I just don't really feel like there's much compelling about alts, but we'll take a look. And don't forget, if you're looking for an exchange, why don't you go and check out bingx.com and use code Rapture for sign-up bonuses. You can use 100x leverage on your altcoins. Insane. I don't really recommend going much beyond 10x, but you do you. It's your capital. You do you. At least we can get you properly, get your entries lined up properly and know when you're invalidated so you don't actually get liquidated. Take a sip of my green tea, keeping with that corporate samurai vibe, as Moonar pointed out. Okay, let's get to our levels. Let's dive in, because I want to keep these to an hour. We've been pretty good for the last several sessions of these, keeping them to an hour. I don't want to go any much longer than that. And again, I know I've only been doing one session a week. That is going to be amping up. That's going to be ramping up. I'm going to get it back to the 2 to 3 per week cadence again. But I've got a lot of other stuff that I want to be putting out. A lot of things that I'm working on, that I have been working on, to just ramp the output up. But just bear with me for a little bit longer. I'll make sure I get at least one per week. At least one per week. But sooner than later, back up in cadence. Okay, so the weekly chart. We're above the inside week high. We're trading up towards a monthly level. And I also notice that we're into this weekly right here, this weekly level right here. Boom. right? You guys can see that. You guys can see that right there, right? Came up and took out that weekly level. So that's kind of interesting. Let's go on to daily, see what we're dealing with. So this was that daily bearish breaker that I outlined, and we invalidated that breaker when we closed above it yesterday with the close tonight. This was the bearish breaker I was looking for. You can see that first touch on it gave you the short. I was looking for a short off of some levels up in here, but you know what? The market went and invalidated me. So this breaker is gone. Yoink, done. So where are we now? We're going to mark this out as our current swing low that we have in play. Let's extend that across. Do I think we can leave this? I don't really think so anymore, but we can probably leave this one. We can probably leave this. So there's some daily levels that we're working with. Like I said, we came up into that weekly level that we're interacting with here. But there's your daily levels of interest for right now. Not too much on daily, which is nice. We're dealing with a lot of weekly levels, though, as you guys can see. We're up into a lot of higher time frame weekly and monthly levels all up in this region. So even if shorts have not been playing out on a swing basis, intraday, all day, take the shorts off of them all day. Did I share with this long with you guys last week? What day was this? Wednesday. I believe I sent in the Telegram channel. I was like, you know what? I prefer longs here right now. Well, I wasn't viewing it as a swing long. I was looking at it as a short-term look for a swing short, and I fucked that up. Apologies for anyone that was not hunting longs more aggressively because I was looking for shorts. It happens sometimes. It happens. We got to get dialed back in though. Let's see. Let's take a look at H12. So H12, there's a lot going on here. What is that? Is that H12 breaker? No longer valid. This level played a lot of importance here. So I think we're going to leave that. Does this level become important? Well, I think we're so far away that we want to know what happens here. We don't have a swing high yet, so we can't mark it out, but potentially this H12 candle, which again, or not again, but it's only an hour and a half old, not even an hour and a half. So a long way to go before this candle closes that we could call that a swing high, but there's an H12 low, an H12 low. There's another one right there, but I think if it takes that out, it's going to take this one out. So there's your H12 levels there. What is this? Is that H12 or daily? Let's take a look. That is an H12 level. I think we can get rid of that. Okay, these are your daily and H12 levels, the purple lines, gray and darker gray, the thicker one, monthly and weekly. Let's go to H4. Let's see what we got going on here. So this is gnarly. This is looking a little bit gnarly. This morning when I woke up, I saw that H12 had put in this SFP. I knew it was the Monday range, so I didn't want to give too much weight to it, but I thought, you know what, if it SFPs that level again and closes daily back below here, we're looking like an even more beauty of a short, but that ended up invalidating itself. What we do have here is we have this H4 SFP going on. We had an H4 SFP here into that weekly level. Right, like we're just playing each level. I know I've been sharing more shorts than longs lately, and that's my bad. I've been not as dialed on the longs. I've been looking for shorts more. I will be the first to admit that. I should have been getting you guys in more longs than I had been. Was this this was that Wednesday, Thursday thing? Well, it was over here that I said I prefer longs right now, but I wasn't very insistent on that. And ultimately, I was looking for shorts around here. So it is what it is. We did put in an H4 SFP there. Let's see if there's something on M15. So if at the moment you want the setup that I see. This is your H4 SFP M15 bearish breaker setup. We already had a retest and a short off of that, although it wasn't a very good move. It was a very small move. But if the short is more compelling for you, this is where you're hunting it. Kind of have to ask myself though, okay, so we put in a nice looking high above here. If I wasn't looking for a short off of here, where would I look for a long? It just feels late. It feels late, and the rate of this advance, it is a little bit more sideways than it is, you know, that. But this was a nice pop here, so got to be careful not to hold a bias here. Again, there's that weekly level that got taken out. I think really if you get back below the inside week high, this level here, if we're trading back below that in a couple days, that would be the short I'm looking for. Right now, it's really, I don't like to say it because I don't like to look for a long when prices move that much already from the lows, right? Like this daily SFP here was ultimately at the bottom, right there. I don't like looking for longs when we're that extent. Like this is a fairly extended move, and there's so much liquidity here. I think I pointed this out last time, but how much liquidity is untested. There's a lot of resting liquidity that hasn't been tested. Very rarely that doesn't happen. That doesn't, at least some of these get taken out. If I were looking for, because the move has been clearly favoring longs, you got to kind of ride that trend until it's no longer in play. The longs that I would look for would be some sort of sweep down in here. I don't think it's here. It's too shallow. I think it's realistically somewhere here. I think the long is a sweep, you know, down into one of these. Reclaim, boom. All right, I think this is your long. I think this is the long you want. These two levels in here, maybe it pulls back a little bit deeper in here. Maybe what you end up doing is you get some sort of H4 swing low printed, and then you put in an SFP of that, and then that's a good long. I just don't really feel good looking for a long right here. And this is interesting price action. Solid candle up, sell off, solid candle up into an SFP at a weekly level. I think you're much happier if you're getting along here. Here just doesn't really make much sense. Yes, there are some levels here. I'm not blind, I can see them, but realistically, not a big fan of them, especially how many times this top one here sliced through, that I don't think it provides a sweep retest as a hold. And even then this, I don't think that looks very compelling. Is that an H12 or? I think you're looking for something like that, if I'm being honest. Well, look at that, starting to see some sellers show up at that M15 bearish breaker. I mean, my position stays the same. Like, I think ultimately somewhere in here, I like a short better. I would really like it if we get back below that inside week high. Then it would be a different situation. Get back below, what is that there? 79.3. Which really isn't that far from where we are right now. It's, you know, less than $1,000 from where price is right now. You get back below there, then I like a short a lot better. I don't really, yes, I see this here. Maybe you want hourly at minimum. Where's H1? No, H1's all the way down here. You do have, so you have a market shift, market structure shift style H1 right here. There it is. Right, you close below it. This is your market structure shift style H1 bearish breaker. Say you put an SFP in there, be cleaner, right? And it's right around this area. There is a case for short here, but the shorts haven't been playing out as well as the longs have been playing out. So I don't want to get you guys overly hunting for shorts, but I'm also just not very comfortable saying, hey, we've done all of this, now look for longs. It is what it is. But I do see the setup here. M15 bearish breaker, H1 bearish breaker off of this H4 level, confirmed on both time frames. I would watch what happens in here. If you come up into here and you get an M5, if you get up into here and you put in an M5 market structure break, meaning price comes up, does that, and then goes down below, this is what I'd be looking for. Right? Right, I would look for it to close below, make a market structure break on M5, retest, that's the sell, right? On this time frame. Right now, it's not a market structure break. You had a structure break over here, and actually it's retesting the bottom of that M5 right there. That's where it's retesting right now. Right, see that? That's where it's retesting right now. But I don't really look at M5 breakers so much anymore, but I do think if you get an M5 MSB right here, say you close below that, you short a retest, right? Like say this happens here, right? And say this closes down here below there, right? This is what I'm talking about, right? Say you get from here, it closes below here, I would short that. As I say that, it pops up, but there's no trigger there at the moment other than the fact you have a confirmed M15 and a confirmed H1. Market structure shift though on H1, not a structure break. So a little less weighting, but the M15 has the structure break. That's what I see on BTC. It is tough to say short, given how shorts have been punished, but I don't feel great telling people to want a long here. And you know me, I don't have both directions. I don't give a fuck if we're going up or if we're going down. It's just about catching that intraday move off of the high time frame level. Well, we're interacting with the high time frame level, and I see these here. We'll circle back in a little bit. Let's go back. Let's go check out ETH. So what's been happening on ETH? A lot of SFPs up in here. A lot of sweeps and SFPs up in here. That daily bearish breaker, right? You can see how BTC were trading above the daily bearish breaker that was outlined. Well, ETH is still trading within it. And so I did sweep that, but it's trading above. SFP down here was the long. Is ETH trading a little bit cleaner than BTC? Should I shift my focus? Nah. Okay, well, levels in here are still relevant. This is not relevant. Is this what we're monitoring here? No, we're still within that H4 bearish breaker that I outlined last week. We didn't invalidate this box. This is really interesting looking price action. It's almost like a TWAP going on. I don't really think you want to stand in front of this right now. I think you want, if you want to stand in front of this, I mean, this is gnarly on H12 and on daily. Like, that's pretty gnarly. But this is just kind of looking like that slow, grindy price action just on a higher time frame that usually breaks through. We'll leave that H4 breaker there for now. Let me switch up this music. It's been playing for too long. There we go. I don't know, lads. What do you think? This price action is... It reminds me a little bit of this, right? And then it... Whoomp, right? Even had that gnarly looking move here. Sort of gnarly looking move here that ultimately resolved up after the sweep of a weekly level. It's giving me that kind of vibe, right? Although it's a lot more controlled. I did see something about Tom Lee's been buying again, right? So I wonder if this is just him throwing on the TWAP, and that once that turns off, does it just shit the bed? I don't know. Is there anything that I can see here? I mean, look, yeah, you had shorts here, right? Off the weekly level. Here's your M15 bearish breaker. Look at exactly where it retested. This is your short setup for now, right? I just don't really have high confidence in it given what this looks like. This, I think you almost want it to come and take out one of these here before you actually think this is a short. This is a little bit less clear. Chaz was hoping for the daily to sweep. Now I'm conflicted both ways. Yeah, it is a tough spot here. Like, usually I have a pretty good, I'm like one way or the other, right? But right now, this is out. Right now, it's tough to say you want a long here, just given how much it's gone up and where we're at, but shorts have been getting punished. I'm not going to lie. Shorts have been getting punished. Had this closed at the sweep or SFP today on the daily, I think this is, are you talking about ETH or are you talking about BTC, Chaz? But had this closed as an SFP here, this trade would have been a lot cleaner, or a lot clearer. Let's take a look at SOL. Let's see what SOL's saying. Let's go to weekly. I mean, this is just, what is this? What is this? This is just no volatility, limited volume, limited participants, right? We even outlined that weekly level there that I said maybe we get an SFP of that and then you get a nice short, but we couldn't even get up there when BTC is trading like, well, here's that inside week. So BTC is trading up here and ETH is trading here. Solana is all the way down here. SOL BTC and SOL ETH must look like absolute death right now. We'll take a look in a bit. This is not anywhere you want to be trading on SOL. You either want it to take out a high or take it a low. From here, it's just, this does not scream to me I want to get involved. A lot of wicks up in here. God, we got too many levels going on here, but look at how they keep responding off of them, right? The levels keep leveling, and until they stop leveling, they're going to be levels of interest. I don't think this particular level here holds much longer. It's got to pop through and then give you something up here, up here, up here. Again, you had that daily SFP here for the, but had you longed SOL, you would have been disappointed. And I think last week at the weekly macro dashboard, I said, I don't think you want to be involved with SOL right now. Well, it does not look like you wanted to be involved with SOL. So this H12 breaker keeps doing its thing, right? Short there. It's been a short here. What is this? Let's get rid of that. So many sweeps and SFPs taking place up into here. This just looks ugly to me. And there's so many lines on here. It's making me feel sick just looking at it. It looks gross. Like I almost just want to nuke this and just start fresh. But the problem is, look at how these levels just keep working, right? Look at how the levels just keep working. So until they're irrelevant, they're there. And right now they're not irrelevant. For now, they're still all of them in play. And it could be any of these levels that gives you the trade, right? Like there was the trade. Not a very good move. But look, when I zoom out, like look at the volatility is just compressed to shit. Look at that. Are we trading an inside day? Inside the inside week? Inside day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going on 11 days trading inside this day. Nobody wants it to go up. Somebody's trying to stop it from going down. This chart looks like shit to me, though. It may pop from here, right? Because it keeps grinding up into this. And I know these levels are my levels, and I'm the one that's let it look like shit like this right now. But this chart looks gross to me. I don't even want to look at it, to be honest. Yeah, there's not much else to say about Solana right now. Like, what is this? Similar that happened on ETH, though, right? This situation here. Was there some news this morning? Was there some sort of, when was this? This was last night after the close. Oh, it was an interesting close. Interesting weekly close. Completely reversed that and then popped back up. So there must have been some news that took place. Again, guys, I don't really follow the news much anymore. I don't like being bummed out. I don't know. The SOL chart doesn't really. And the trouble is, even with it looking like you want to generally, if you want to be short, you want to short the weaker asset and long the longer asset or long the stronger asset when you want to be long. Solana has, for the weakest looking asset of the big three, the shorts haven't really been doing anything for you. Like this is just sideways slow chop hell. Kind of just tells you, and I think I pointed this out last week, but the market's just kind of BTC only right now. Let's take a look at SPX. What is SPX doing? This is just a gnarly monthly candle that I put in for February. Chaz says war news. Iran attacked a U.S. warship. Yeah, that makes sense. Hopefully, if you've got friends or family in the armed services, that nobody was hurt. SPX. This is just an insane chart. You look at this and you're like, it's got to like put in a swing high somewhere, but then like you come back over here and you're like, well, fuck, it just kept going, right? It's almost similar here, although at this point we're already back above here, right? Like it's pretty insane. Let's check out daily. So daily we have a swing high, we have a fresh swing high. Oops, we have a fresh swing high. Oops, come on, there we go. There's your swing high on daily of the SPX. Here's your swing low. This is a market structure break. There you go. What an insane looking chart. So we can clean all this up because we're nowhere near any of this anymore. So let's get rid of all this. Tidy this up so that we just focus on what is in front of us. I think even so, weekly popped all the way up through there. So this is the weekly swing low. I just can't really put a swing high yet, but we'll do that for now. We can get rid of this. Let's just clean this right up. There's too many levels going on. Too many levels, too many lines. Let's take a look at monthly, see if there's anything I can clean up from here. So we can do this. Bring this here. There's a monthly level of interest. There's your monthly levels of interest. Go down to weekly. This is a Bodman weekly range. Look at that. That is insane. If I were to clean up some of these levels, I mean, I guess I'd get rid of that. Range quarters. There's our weekly range quarters. We got a massive weekly fair value gap right here. Right. Let's turn that up a little bit. There we go. There's a weekly fair value gap there. There's another one down here, but I just don't really see this retracing that much after doing that. That would look awful. So there's your weekly and monthly levels on SPX. Get rid of this. So if that might be an area of interest, then you say to yourself, okay, well, that could be a daily level that gets taken out there. This is an insane chart, though, given a 15% move. What did BTC do in that time? Let's just call this the bottom. Well, this is the bottom. Let's see. I mean, 35% off the lows, so it's not nothing. It's not nothing. It's a pretty good move off the lows. I was really looking for this level down here, that monthly level to get taken out. I really was. It can still happen. It can still, this could form a lower high and swoop down more. But I really did want that level to get taken out. But you can't always get what you want. Apologies for butchering that classic. Okay. Well, there's your SPX levels. I mean, this looks pretty good here. Like, I feel less shitty telling you that this is a long versus BTC where it is, to be honest. Let's take a look. Is there, well, yeah. You had this M15 bullish breaker. It's a market structure shift style breaker. It's not a market structure break, but it's a market structure shift style bullish breaker, and that's where it's holding. And that's an SPX long right there. Yeah, I feel less shitty telling you to long this near all-time highs than I do BTC after just doing a internal range higher high. It tells you about where we are in the crypto markets right now. Okay, I can clean this up. Clean that up. Clean that up. This is just insane, though. Insano. Okay, lads. Well, that's BTC. That's ETH. Right there's BTC. I would like a long here somewhere. Do I still like the short here? I mean, yeah, there's the short here. The short's there. You know, you just got to take the trades when you see them, and this is what I see. M15 bearish breaker off the H4 level. I don't like that. Well, it's nice for bulls, but I just don't, on the short, I don't like this closed through like that, even though it took out a level. Kind of a rock and a hard place here. It's the kind of situation where you're like, shit, you just long and just grab your nuts and long and hope it keeps going up. Only to buy a local top when you could have just waited a couple days. Okay, well, that's that for now. I'll share the charts in the Telegram channel. Rapture's trade book. Link in the description for this YouTube video if you're joining me there, or from my Twitter profile at Night the Rapture. You can find it. There we go. At Night the Rapture on Twitter. You can find the link in my bio there. Now, let's pop back over to this. I'll share all those charts on the levels. I'll either post it tonight or I'll post it first thing tomorrow morning. Let's come back over here. So we did BTC, ETH, and SOL for our high time frame levels. We discussed strategy. I mean, strategy was you want to be thinking it's a short where it is, but it's just been shorts have been getting punished. They've been very, very short-term holds for shorts, and longs have been doing well. But anytime I kind of do that in my head, where I'm like, shorts haven't been working out as well. Is it time to flip? Is it time to just like forget about shorts and go long? That's when it rolls over. So I don't really want to say that. Okay, let's take a look at the weekly macro dashboard and see what it is telling us. Okay, well, last week I said I could see BTCD continue to push up into this level, and we're almost there now. I mean, this just about tells you all you need to know. Focus on BTC, on longs. Don't focus on anything else. Last week I said I really think if we're gonna see a BTCD rollover, it's gonna come from up in here. Well, we're getting close now. Come on, there we go. We're getting close now. I think if BTCD wants to roll over, it's going to come from there. Nice advance up. Continues to go up. Total ES divided by BTC, which is the total crypto market cap, excluding stable coins, divided by BTC, which is my barometer for altcoin health. Looks like shit. This just tells me do not fucking touch alts. Look, they're almost retraced almost to the October 10th, the 1010 wick. When alts got massacred, the altcoin market cap is strikingly close. Less than 1%. Insane. That about tells you all you need to know about altcoins right now. That just about tells you all you need to know about altcoins right now. And look who fucking nailed that. I said this weekly bearish breaker setup, you offload alts. I said that here when we closed below. I said, if you get a retest into this thing, you just offload all your alts. I said it reminds me of this exact setup here. I didn't say we were going to get this, but I said you get retests into here and you're holding alts, you sell the fuck out of your alts. And look at what's happened. So that about tells me all I need to know about alts. I think if you come down here and take this level out, you have a case to be hunting longs and alts, but who wants alts these days? I don't know. Okay, USDT D, the USDT dominance chart. I said, you get another sweep down into here. Maybe we're going to get that reversal. What I'd like to see though, and what this is my gauge for risk on or risk off with stables coming out of the market and going into clearly BTC. Clearly, if BTCD comes and takes out this level here, puts in a weekly SFP there in the next week or two, with this sitting here, I could see this push up, maybe back up towards here, maybe towards, there is some signs here of this being an overextended move. Take out that high there. USDTD being down in here. That risk could roll over soon. ETH BTC, just shit in the bed. Oh, after that weekly SFP there, I think you're looking for it to come down into here. So it's tough because it's not as though this was a short for ETH. It was just a long for BTC, right? So you could look at this and say, well, I should be shorting ETH anytime that the market's looking weaker. It hasn't really given you that follow through. Even like I was talking about Solana, right? We were looking at the SOL chart. Oh my God, that looks awful. What an awful looking chart. Look at this. That is awful. That looks like an on-chain shitter. Looks like the last of the liquidity is getting pulled. Gnarly. Wow. Well, when we closed below last weekly candles, I said, don't even look at Solana right now. The fucked up thing is, though, with this looking awful like this, it's not even as though SOL was good shorts. It's been giving you the setups, but this is just BTC doing well. Oh my God. And this is just ETH doing a little less, this is just ETH doing a little less poorly than Solana, but equally shit against BTC, right? I gotta say, the weekly macro dashboard is telling me, and it has been for a little while, just trade BTC and be prepared to exit BTC or to take some shorts when it takes out that level there, because we are sitting here on USDT, which is the USDT, the tether dominance chart, into weekly support, putting in SFPs down here. I mean, SOL ETH looks like it wants to just nosedive. Oh my God, where would the next level be? Down here? Ugh. You know, what was interesting was ETH BTC, and it still does, but it looks like so much shit trading here, right? Just horrible, horrible, horrible. It somehow in a shorter period of time looks worse on SOL BTC. Like this right here, this leg right here is just, these two sections here are fucking gnarly. Yeah, I don't know, lads. I mean, you guys know me. My majority of my focus is just on BTC. And, you know, not that, you know, it's tough to say that we're in a bear market right now because prices have been going up, but we're not in a bull market. There's a sideways chop market. And it really just highlights to you, the longer you're in crypto, why you just focus on BTC. If this chart wasn't here, and these were the charts that represented crypto, you would say, I don't want to fucking touch crypto, right? Let's just say for a second that the BTC chart is not here. And all you see is this chart, this chart, this chart, and this chart. And you see equities fucking doing what they're doing. You would not want to be touching crypto. Good for BTC though. This concerned me a little bit, this tether dominance into this weekly level here. I mean, maybe it stabs down one more little bit while BTCD touches up into here. I do want to say you're getting closer to BTC being overextended here. So that's what I can see. TLDR on the weekly macro dashboard. Focus BTC, but be nimble that perhaps overextension is close. All right, watch that level. Watch what's happening here. Look at this H12 bearish, or this H12 bullish breaker is held, but you are trickling down into here. So maybe it takes out this weekly level still, this weekly fair value gap. Okay, that's the weekly macro dashboard. Let's take a look and see if there's been any interesting high time frame SFPs. And we're at 52 minutes. I'm getting better at speeding these up. I gotta say, I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I'm getting a little bit better at speeding these up. Because I do want to keep it to an hour. Okay, we're over on Pine Screener from TradingView. I'm going to load up my high time frame swing screener pro. I'm going to put it on the 1 minute because that's how it works. We're going to take a look. Well, we'll put on the weekly SFP true, and I doubt that any of these had weekly SFPs because I would have known already, and no, they did not. We didn't see any SFPs, we would have known. Let's take a look. Let's see on breakout, were there any interesting weekly SFPs? I really don't like that they color coded these on me. So there have been weekly SFPs. Pepe, one of the interesting ones with high volume. There is suddenly a little bit more volume. Let's adjust this. Since the market's been a little bit slower, let's go 30 mil. Let's see. So you do have some interesting weekly SFPs here. I really got to clean up my SFP watch list because it's been just collecting things and I haven't been tidying it up. Why is Vine still on here? It just doesn't even register volume. I'm just checking the different exchanges. They're all showing similar SFPs across all of them. OKB has almost a billion volume. That's insane. Sure, why not? Let's take a look at that. Okay. Okay, lads, there's your weekly SFPs for this week. Screenshot that if you need. Pepe, SHIB, Aptos, Aster, LTC, OKB. Let's take a look at ADR. What's been interesting? So I would focus on SHIB, Pepe, Aptos, because the ADR, the average daily range, is a larger percent. See the 5-day average volume, or sorry, volatility. I mean, Aptos up there. Interesting. So what do? We come back over to here and we go to our high time frame swing. So it's interesting that Aster was on that list. Look at this. We talk about apathy on the SOL chart. What is this? I don't know. I don't want to tell you to take it shut up here because this is just a waste of your time. You're sitting in this for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks and it has not moved at all. So no, we're not gonna bother with that. I can take this off here. Hold on. What else was on here? These can all come off. What were the other ones? So it was Aster. It was LTC. Let's see what LTC looks like. I mean, ugh. LTC is into an area where if you're thinking longer term, like next cycle, longer term, this has historically been an area to buy. It just, I'm an intraday trader. And I also do see that you just put in a weekly SFP there. Let's see if you have, look at this other breaker is still held off of that other weekly SFP, but this is just Chop City. Again, alts look like shit, right? Like we saw that my total ES divided by BTC looked like absolute garbage. So, I'm not expecting things to jump off the page for me. Pengu doing well. Is it meme season? Let's take a look at Pengu. Where was the weekly SFP from this on the other? Oh, this was a while back. Okay, well, there's no weekly setup here. This looks good, though. I gave you some short, but... So, interesting. Interesting area for Pengu. Interesting area for Pengu. This chart has done a lot more than a lot of other charts. I will say that much. I do see this here, but it SFP'd it, came back down, and now it's just creeping back up into it. I wouldn't be surprised if this shoots up to up here. It does look strong. Pengu does look strong. Again, this was not a weekly SFP candidate. I was just on this list of mine. I haven't updated in forever. I really got to go through and clean these up. Rap, come on, man. Get your shit together. Get your shit together, man. Okay, let's take a look at the ones that were from the list. Pepe. It's wild you were seeing how much volume there was on Pepe on the screener. Look at how little movement that's done. So the weekly SFP in question, right there. Into a monthly level. It's come up into here a lot though. Slow, grindy chop. There's so many, just the same as on BTC. Like, look how much untapped swing lows there are here, right? Look how many untapped swing lows there are. I mean, if this confirms this H12 breaker, it has not. If you close below there on H12, otherwise I don't really see the trade, because it's just, this is insane. Slow grind upwards chop. You know, maybe it's going to pop. Maybe it's going to pop. Maybe the market wants to. Maybe the market just wants to run. I'm hesitant. I'm really reluctant to say that, though, given the state of total ES BTC. I really just think focus BTC. Unless your edge is really in altcoins and you're tapped in and you're in a group where they're like, yo, we're all going to run up this coin. We hoovered up supply. We're going to run up this coin. Yeah, there's a weekly SFP, unconfirmed H12 breaker here. That's what I'm just outlining here, but there's not really any setups on any of these yet, just to be honest with you guys. Ugh. What is this? Looks what happened to Aptos guy? So weekly SFP. Confirmed H12 bearish breaker. There you go. There's a setup. There's a short. It's already retested it, but if you come up into here and you get like, you know, say you get an H4 SFP somewhere up into here, take that short. Yes, this is a severely depressed altcoin, but do people use Aptos? I don't know. OKB, what a gnarly looking chart. Where was the weekly SFP? Was it a bullish SFP? Oh, okay, okay. Bullish SFP there. Tried to get the. Did it do it? Did it do it? Did it do it? It did. You have a bullish daily breaker off of that weekly SFP. You're hunting longs here on OKB. It's the exchange token for OKX. Yeah, I mean, you can hunt longs in here. This is a fucking ugly looking chart, but you can hunt longs in here. There's your bullish daily breaker. Off of the H12. Oh, sorry, off the weekly SFP. Let's take a look in the chat. Munar. My focus has always been BTC, but I've been enjoying trading hype lately. Definitely one of the better looking charts. I have not looked at hype in a minute. Let's take a look at it for you, Munar. Let's take a look. Well, our short from the other week played out. Yeah, I mean, this has looked nice. This is just not. This has been 1, 2, like 3 weeks just trading up in here. The short played out. Then you had a long down here off of this daily level. But it also, that's a bearish MSB. That is a bearish MSB, my friends. So where's the swing high that created that? Where is the swing high that created you? There's your swing low. There's your swing high. Oops, did not mean to do that. Okay. Come on, wrap. Come on. There we go. There's your daily range. Now, like I said, you put in an SFP there. Yeah, I mean, you got a daily SFP there. You're getting a sweep up in there. You had a sweep there. Definitely a lot of trades. I'm just trying to see. Okay, well, you do have a bullish breaker right here. Hasn't given a retest yet. I think if you come back down into here, into this H4 bullish breaker, you hunt a long. You hunt a long down there. Yeah, I think you hunt along down there. The short that I see is this right here. It's retested it though, once, twice. This one was a further pullback up into it, but there's your short. There's your weekly level, M15 bearish breaker. That's your short. Short, long. Okay, lads. Does anybody have any questions? We've just passed the hour mark. We're at an hour and 5 minutes. I want to start wrapping this up. Let's take a look. Does anything else look crazy on here? I don't know what the hell that is. XPL. Whoa. Throwback. Let's take a look for a second. Haven't looked at the XPL chart in a long time. Not that it's that far of a throwback, but I was more focused on it 6 months ago. When did this launch? August of last year. More than 6 months ago now. Just doing nothing. A whole lot of doing nothing. Short setup from a couple weeks ago. It was a short, but just hasn't really led to much follow through after. I do see a daily SFP right there. Let's go down to M15. What do we have here? Is that the low? That was the low. Okay, well, there's your market structure shift style breaker. There's your long on XPL. If you're feeling like wanting to long an alt like XPL, hold on, which is lower? What does it say? 0872, 0872. They're equal lows. Okay, so this is your bullish breaker off of that daily SFP. It's a little bit late now. I wouldn't want to chase this, to be honest with you, but there's a long here on XPL. Okay, lads. Well, Munar. Yeah, I mean, it's not that I'm necessarily bullish on it. You know, I'm usually into quicker trades, and hype has been good to trade both directions. That's what we're all about here, baby. Trade the market both ways. Don't hold the bias. Just mark out your high time frame levels. Take the setups as they come and take the trade and get on with your life. Don't let the market control you. Don't let the market control your energy and your emotions. Just trade the levels, live your life. That's all for me. Once again, I am Rapture. This has been Rapture, Scalp, and Swing Sessions number 27, the Daily Close Show. We looked at our high time frame levels. We discussed strategy. Across BTC, ETH, and SOL, we took a look at the weekly macro dashboard. That is telling me pretty much just trade BTC. And if BTCD puts in that weekly SFP we're looking for, while Tether dominance, USDTD is looking like it might be finding a bottom. Maybe it's time that move might roll over. Other than that, it's difficult to say to want to be short BTC as it's been, you know, shorts have been getting punished. Once again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoy what I'm doing here. Help support the growth of this show. And if you're looking for an exchange, check out bingx.com, use code Rapture, and get yourself those juicy sign-up bonuses. And just like that, lads, I'm out. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Monday evening, and I will catch up with you again soon. Ciao.